Syncthing is almost available on all the platforms, whether it is Linux, Mac OS, Windows, or even Android. The options are limitless. Now let's dive into the step-by-step process of setting up Syncthing on your phone. Now my TrueNAS, which is on this particular IP address, is running, and this has all my files here. These files will be synchronized to Android phone also, and whatever will be added from Android phone, so it will be synchronized here as well. So my all three devices, which is my laptop, which contains these files, and this is TrueNAS, where the files are stored, where Syncthing sync is the folder, default folder where all my files are stored. I can relabel it. I can say that Amjad sync. So this will be my sync folder name, which is up to date right now. So I'll be adding a new device here. Add remote device here. I will need to first of all download the app in Play Store. And in Play Store, I will be going for Syncthing. All right, here is Syncthing app. I'll be just installing this app. All right, so app is installed. I will simply open this app. Storage permission, I need to grant the storage permission because it will be, of course, creating the folder or giving the access to that folder. Here, location, background, it will be running whether you want to have it or not. I will not allow it. Enable permission notification, I will enable it. Default folder is emulated DCIM, which means that it will be by default sending the data from this particular folder. Folder name is camera, and all the camera related photos will be added over here. So I can even change the settings here. Here I can go to web GUI. Here I will not be sending the anonymous data, and you can see here that the default folder which is created is camera. I don't want this camera. I can simply edit this folder, and here I can edit and remove this folder here, which is by default storage emulated 0. So I will be removing this folder here. Right now there is no folder. I can now add the folder by myself. It will be, for example, Android and test. Give this name. Folder ID, I can keep anything. Here folder path is Android test. I can choose the path by myself. It is storage emulated 0. Inside this it will be Android test. We can validate that as well. Now if I go here to files into the Android phone, so internal storage, so here you can see inside storage, this is Android test folder, and here all the files will be stored. Right now the device is not synchronizing. If you see devices, there is no device right now connected. So what I'll do, so I'll go into action and show device ID. So here is the device ID which is available. So I'll go here to plus sign and device ID. It will open the camera. I need to scan that QR code. Here I'll give it a name, for example, TrueNAS, and here on my computer now I can see that a device wants to connect, which is here, and I'll add this device. And device name, I will give it a name on my computer, which is Amjad Android, and save it here, and I'll just add it here also on the Android phone. Now you can see here that this device is also connected in this particular folder. I will edit this and I'll also share it with the Android phone. Right now you can see it is only shared with one computer. I'll be sharing it with the Android, Amjad Android also, and here I'll save it. If I go into the web UI here, in web GUI, you can see here that the folder is also willing to connect. So I'll be adding that folder also, which is trying to connect to this device. Here I'll save it. So remote device is connected, remote device is up to date. Amjad Sync is the folder path which will be inside the Android. So I will go here to internal storage and look for Amjad Sync. You can see here all the files that we created inside the Syncthing are now available here. This way you can synchronize. Once you connect it, now you can see that I have created two folders here. One was the folder which I created here, and I want to synchronize this folder to the remote device. And here if I go into edit, now you can see sharing, and in sharing I need to enable the TrueNAS and save. The moment I enable the TrueNAS here, I have to add it there, and it will be available on my computer. And where you want to store, it will be folder Android test. and I'll save it here. So now two folders are configured. One is that from my Android phone, one of the folder I want to sync it on the TrueNAS, and another is that there is another folder which is already available on TrueNAS, and that folder will also be synced here. Now on Android phone, you can see here that the both folders are being synchronized. Everything is fine here. I am on web UI right now. I don't need to do anything here. And if I go into folders, the folders are also being synchronized. Now if I come to the TrueNAS and if I go to web UI here, if I go to the TrueNAS admin interface, and I'll show you how the files are being synchronized here. So here I'll go to PowerShell again, and I'll just see the list of files, cd space var and cd space Syncthing, and inside Syncthing we have that Android test which is available. So cd space Android test. So this is synchronized from Android phone to TrueNAS. Similarly, we can even create the folder on our laptop also, so the data will be synchronized from the Android phone to the laptop. So here if you see on the TrueNAS now folder which was created on Android test, and the same has been created here also on the TrueNAS, and TrueNAS had a folder called Amjad Sync, and that sync is shared with these two devices. So one device is my ZenBook, which is the folder here, and if I open the folder in Android phone, so here on my Android phone, if I go back here to Amjad Sync, you can see the same files are available on Android phone as well. So if I add anything over here, suppose I'll just do the side by side run here. I will open the shell on one side, and on shell I will simply try to touch the file name. It will be TrueNAS test, and here I'll be using a new file called ZenBook, and on Android I'll be creating a folder called Android test create. Here you can see that it has started syncing. The Android test which was created in the Android phone has appeared here, and the file that we created will just go back here to sync, and I'll create a new file here called TrueNAS file.txt, for example. I will just refresh my folder here. You can see here TrueNAS file, and TrueNAS file.txt has also appeared on Android phone. So this is the efficient way of doing the backup on multiple devices. So you can do a lot with this. There are limitless possibilities that you can do with Syncthing. Syncthing is open source, freely available file synchronization and folder synchronization software. If you want me to cover any specific aspect of Syncthing, mention them in the comment section below. I'll definitely help you out. Subscribe to the channel to get updates on the videos like this. See you in next video. Take care and goodbye.